Good evening to everyone attending the Knight's Court today. I'm here with my noble knight, Sir Galahad, and your host, your very endearing host, will be King Arthur, today speaking, as we will be discussing several topics today at the Square Table. This is the Square Table discussion, and we will be giving our thoughts and ideas on every single topic that goes through. And without further ado, we will be beginning. But first, let me introduce my knight, Galahad. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, Sir King Arthur. The Holy Grail and the search for it may be bitter, but these conversations make it so ever sweet.
Yeah, we can't die. Okay, so on to the first set of news. I think I'll let you take that away first because you seem to be more up to date with all the Type Moon news. Galahad, give me a briefing on what's been going on.
All right. In Fate's news, Robin Hood was announced for Fate Extra yesterday.
I saw that.
And they're doing another live stream on the 20th to reveal the next Archer. Who do you think it will be?
If it's a Fate servant, right. I mean, I'm assuming most of these servants are coming from the from Fate Extra and Fate Extra CCC, right? Because I know that there was like a bunch of cards in a circle. Well, I did see that it was like a YouTube video with Robin Hood in it. Yeah, and Robin Hood was the first card that was revealed. Have any of the other cards been revealed, or is it just him?
The servants revealed are Charlemagne, Scafatch, Astolfo, Francis Drake, and Robin Hood.
Wait, what class is Charlemagne?
Charlemagne is a Saber. He's the only new Saber we're getting in Starlink. We are getting two new Archers. One of them is Robin Hood. The next Archer is being revealed. There are two Berserker slots, and I'm praying that one of them is Arcrude.
Arcrude, a Moon Cell version. Wait, I'm trying to remember an Archer from Fate Extra. One doesn't come to my mind. I just can't remember.
Remember a little manga called Fate Extra CCC Foxtail?
I didn't read it.
Oh well. And from that we'll segue into our next bit of news.
Yay.
Fate Extra CCC is getting a light novel adaptation of hundreds of scenarios that were scrapped for the game.
So they're what ifs.
Yes, they're what ifs, but because of how Nassiverse works, they'll be canonical.
That's stupid. I swear to God. We have too many. Why haven't these universes? Oh wait, no, they were pruned. That's why they didn't make the cut. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. I guess. I mean, as long as it's more Fate stuff that's coming out, it doesn't really bother me. But it's. I mean, Fate Extra CCC. I mean, it's something that you have to really dive into. First, you gotta go through, Extra. Then you have to go into CC. I mean, to even try to understand what's going on. Either the manga. I mean, you've read the manga, right? For CCC.
Yeah.
How's that like? Do you think you need any prerequisites for that, or?
The manga follows a completely different story to CCC, and the Fate Extra manga was untranslatable after.
I remember making. I remember reading through it, and it just stopped at a certain point, and I was like, "What is this the end? Is this really the end?"
Then there is obviously the new anime.
What
Fate Extra Last Encore.
Oh,
it really does seem like the year of Fate Extra.
Yeah, it's yeah. Here, let me give Type Moon an idea to get away from. How about you stop showboating Nero? Because I'm at the point where I think she's probably one of the most annoying characters in Type Moon. Like seriously, you're devoting an entire singularity to her. You've given her an entire opening which has nothing else but her in it, which I think is complete garbage. Not as well as Singularity, I mean, wasn't it Sakurai who wrote it again? What wasn't it? Am I right?
Sakurai wrote the third Singularity, Septum. Nasu is writing Last Encore, and the new Singularity that will involve Nero in Cosmo. What's it called?
Cosmos, Lost in Cosmos, yeah. Oh no, and I don't even have to talk about how Extella totally made her the queen of the show. I'm really starting to get tired of this
New
narrow thing.
releases, remember?
I'm getting tired of it. It's whatever. There's no point in arguing with it. She's gonna be there regardless. And you know who hasn't gotten enough love yet? It's our penguin saber. It's our penguin saber. She hasn't gotten enough love yet.
Next in new releases, we have Law Del Malloy Case Files, Material Book, and
I heard
Case
about
Files
that.
number 7.
Yeah,
The
I heard about it. It's worth going into.
The title of Case Files number 7 is The Case of Atlas, which means we are going to get some cameos from possibly
Atlas
Tia
Academy.
Malcolm or
I want
her elder
Zephyr.
sister, or Waletia, and
I thought it was Warachia because they can't pronounce the L.
in a new piece of information, we know that Gransung Blackmore is appearing in the case files.
Grandson or Dan Blackmore?
Gransung.
Who's that?
Vampire. Scrapped in a material book, I believe.
Oh, more content that, is just being recycled. It's just, I'm not saying anything. Anyway.
Then we have a big announcement. Spike Chunsoft, the creators of Danganronpa, are translating and releasing officially in English a visual novel with a scenario written by Kinoku Nasu and Takeshi Takeuchi that inspired their original anime canon. The visual novel is not the visual novel we all wanted. Believe me.
Okay.
But fans of the pointless anime canon that I hate will enjoy it.
My knight, you have disappointed me. You have disappointed me with this.
It disappointed me too. Next in news, the Fate Grand Order manga had its first 2 omnibuses published, which goes in a manga scenario through every single singularity. Not just the first one.
I kind of lost it when that one little 4-minute clip of Grand Order came out, and it was Gilgamesh Caster and Ishtar in the America singularity. I'm just saying, I'm just saying things are getting out of hand. Is that all for news?
I believe that is all for news.
Is that all of the important news not relating to canon?
That is all the important news. And canon is Type Moon too, so
okay,
I have to...
So moving on, let's go to the discussion portion of what we were talking about already a bit. With that entire, what was it? The Sieg versus Karna fight. It really makes a good fight in Type Moon. Yeah. We've had a handful of fights throughout, all of the animated Type Moon works, all the light novels, everything. It really takes a degree of what is it? I feel like just a factor of magic. There needs to be some sort of element in the story writing that makes you attracted to the fighting. I'll say that only in the case for a visual novel or a light novel, at least, where you can't see the actions. In the case of Fate Apocryphal, where we saw Karna and Sieg fighting, it was like a clusterfuck of just so much stuff. Just so much stuff looked like just exploding at your face. You couldn't even see half the things. More of it was just like a bunch of vibrating and like explosions. And having something that disorderly, it really reminded me of what was it called? What was that one movie that everyone hated that or like they kind of liked? It was like with that one actress that was being like whitewashed. What was it?
Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell, yeah. Like I like how the elements in that movie is like, they have a setting which like gives you so much stuff, like a city-wide view, gives you like holograms and everything. But you can't really concentrate on a single thing. Same thing with this, there's just so much coming at you from the screen. You can't even focus on anything. I'll just, I could go on and on about it. I'll listen to what you have to say on that.
Honestly, my opinion on what makes a great Nasuverse fight and a great fight in general is that the fight is a conversation. The fight is dialogue through fists.
Oh, so Emiya versus Shiro. Yeah, no, I'll agree with you. That was a fight with words.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and that was a great fight. But then no, but then you get people saying, "Wow, Shiro has power hacks. What is this?" And I'm like, "No, you fool. That fight wasn't a fight of brawn versus brawn. It was more of just believing in an ideal and versus a dying ideal, which is very different from what we get in Apocrypha. It's
Like,
something that just you can't really compare most of the fights together because then you'll just get a very disjointed just I know that.
obviously,
Hmm?
oh, obviously, we're going to use Apocrypha's paramount fight, which is Kana versus Sieg/Siegfried.
Oh my god.
Because that being the most grandiose, most celebrated, most watched fight from Apocrypha on YouTube is it pales in comparison to even other fights in Apocrypha that show a better conversation, they're better choreographed, they're better animated.
like which fights?
Chiron versus Achilles.
Okay, Chiron versus Achilles was. Let me explain how the ending of that fight went. Look, I dodged the last blow while I was taking a beating to the face, and then I kill him. That was really weird. That fight ended on a very strange note. It didn't sit well with me. I'll be honest with you. I feel like that fight was really like ended stupidly. I don't know if that's a word.
I don't care about how it ended.
Okay. I
I
can
care about how the conversation between them concluded.
Teacher versus student. It ended like on the both of them with like what's it called? Chiron getting the last laugh, shooting, which was great. I loved that scene. That was great. He was like, "I got you," and he just shot down his immortality. That was great.
But then if you compare that to the Kana versus Sieg fight, there's no real dialogue here.
The only
Like
thing
in
that
a light novel, you can understand why Kana wants to fight him. But if you haven't read the light novel and you're just watching the anime,
you
all
don't
you know is
yeah, you have no
Whitehead
clue.
guy wants to fight Swordman.
Right. Even like the manga gives like a little bit of hint of I think, right? They showed like a little
Yes.
I think manga panel of Arjuna, yeah. But then like on Sieg's I know this is an entire conversation, but Sieg is a very special boy. What is Sieg fighting for? He's fighting for Jean, I guess you could say, and Astolfo and traps all
Ruler
around the
will
world.
die. Rider will die.
Ruler will die. Oh my god! I love how he just kept on shooting his noble phantasm. But I understand why. I know why, because of galvanization and everything, and all the little excuses they want to give at the end. But I call it complete BS.
Kana was able to continuously fire his noble phantasms is infinite grail magic.
God, no, and the beautiful part about it is like when the noble phantasm Vasavi Shakti actually comes down, somehow Balmug is able to hold it back for like a good few seconds, and I'm like, that logic doesn't work. Like it is a moving wall coming at you, and somehow this little thin beam is enough to. I'm getting out of hand. Yeah, I will.
If we were to say what the Kana vs. Sieg fight does wrong and what a better fight should do to be better, what would we say?
Flesh out the characters more, then the battle actually has meaning.
Yes,
That's like the best thing to say. There's nothing else. If everything could have stayed the same, only if you would have gone a bit more into Karna, and Sieg is also, like I've said, he's a show on himself. That's a discussion, but a lot of development and a bit more creativity could have gone into the characters instead of just being these two guys who just want to fight each other. Because by the end of the fight, they're just like it seemed like Karna was like, oh, okay, I was in this guerrilla war, it's kind of protecting my master. I'm out of here. I kind of just died, and then that's the end of it. It's just, oh, by the way, and also the fact that Sieg pulled a sword out of nowhere and kind of stabbing Karna at the very end. I'm sure that was explained in the light novel. In the anime, it seems like a complete power hacks, like just a complete, just like plot armor.
Yeah, in the anime, the way the shot is framed, it just looks like the sword appeared behind Kana.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying. I was like, what is that? How it really ends? Is that how it really? Oh, God. It was ridiculous.
I mean, it's obvious we see millions of flaws in Apocrypha. Now let's talk about what we believe are favorite and best type moon fight is.
Best type
That
moon
has
fight?
been animated.
That's
Or not, you know?
best type moon fight. There's honestly too many to even consider. Maybe one of the personal favorites of mine was who knows. Well, I mean, you could go first. I'm still thinking on mine.
My favorite type moon fight is Prototype Saber versus Prototype Gilgamesh
Ah, no
in Fate
surprise.
the OVA. I know it is not surprising, but I have legitimate reasons. All right?
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
Reason
I get
number
you.
one, entirety of Fate Prototype is culminating in this moment. This is a bigger climax than the actual ending that doesn't exist.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Essentially,
Pain.
because of how Prototype Gilgamesh's Noble Phantasm works and how Prototype Saber's Noble Phantasm works, they both have to wait to charge it up. They both have to wait till conditions have been met for them to unleash their true power. And
Right, and all the conditions have been met.
Yes.
No wonder.
They despise each other. The fight isn't just a battle between two people who, you know, they're fighting out of duty or they're fighting out of rivalry. These people are fighting out of competition for love, competition to see who's superior, and essentially to see which one of them will get to marry Ayaka and to see
Oh
another
yeah, I
day.
forgot. Prototype is a complete reverse harem. Completely forgot about that.
Yes, it's fucking great. Like, Prototype Gilgamesh hates Arthur, and Arthur hates him. The thing is, they enjoy hating each other so much. You see it in every facial expression in that short OVA. It's in every line of dialogue in the original script in Old Fate. And that's why it's my favorite. Just the way it's paced, the way it's built up, the way it's foreshadowed, and the way it ends. You finally see the power of Saber and why he is the strongest servant.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So let me give you some facts. All right. Honestly, one of I really can't say any other fight is my favorite aside from Shiro versus Kirei, because exactly what you were saying like a few minutes ago is that yeah, the best types of fights come from a fight with dialogue, and the fight in Heaven's Feel at the very end was literally the climax of the entire visual novel. Like I know, you know, reading is such a skill nowadays. You put in like what over 60 hours into a visual novel, you're like constantly dying, you're constantly going through work, and you're getting different routes you don't want, and then finally at the very end, at the true ending, you finally come face to face with the man who is your polar opposite. I mean, you guys are similar, but he has just different ways of achieving it, and it's just great because then you can't stop loving both. You can't stop loving the both of them, and I feel like when a literary piece decides to make you feel for the antagonist, that's the sweet spot right there. That's the perfect point you can get. Like I went to go watch Black Panther, right? I loved the ending fight with Black Panther and the other guy, and because at the end I felt so strongly for the both of them. So when you feel strongly for both characters, you can't not love it. It's impossible. You just love the scene because then you don't know who wrote it. You don't know who should root for because both of them give up a pretty good piece of testimony as what they want to do. And
in the Kana versus Zeke fight, you can't do that. Because one's a paper bag and the other one's one of the best Type Moon characters that is Kanoku Nasu's favorite male character. You're sort of gonna root for Kana, even though the protagonist is right there.
Honestly, the show could have been so much better if Shiro was the protagonist. Shiro Amakusa. All right, moving on from our fights. Let's focus on specific characters because I like how we just focused on specific battles. I know that we were going to be talking about a very infamous and notorious character throughout the Kara no Kyokai series, which is the Souren Araya. Oh, actually, can you clear something up for me? When I read the novel for Kara no Kyokai, it was always Araya Souren.
It is both because of how the Japanese language works.
Oh, okay, I get you. Like the right
Because
of
his
Francis.
name is a pun with Shiki's name for the definition of the
Yeah,
protective force on
right,
humanity.
right. I remember that scene. Yeah. It's interesting, but I know I didn't focus much on it.
But
Anyways,
the way
focusing
I
on
differentiate him from Alaya, the protective force on humanity, is by calling him Araya.
right, Araya. Yeah. I really liked how the entire story was set up because you have this god tier villain who is, he dies like halfway through the story, and you're kind of just like, okay, what do I do now? Didn't the main guy just die? But then as you continue through, you see that everyone is connected. And I feel like that's the main point of Kara no Kyokai, is that there's so much interconnectedness. Because once you get to the seventh part, with Leo, and how Araya played a role in that, and I know that he did do something in he played another role in the church in the church movie
Yeah.
novel part. Everything, and he's just great. Just the character, and also with the amazing voice actor that is shared with Kirei Kotomine. You can't get any better
And
than that.
Chaos.
And Nervous, yeah, Narrow Chaos. I mean, what can you offer on him?
Honestly, I love his backstory and his motivation.
It was what was it?
Because
He was a monk, right? Monk, and he saw people die,
yeah,
and then he was like, I want to change this, right?
yes, he wants to be a hero of justice, but like
Oh my god,
differently.
but he's not. But I thought Shiro Emi already existed in Kyokai. What about Ghetto
Oh,
Shiro?
Umbro Tomoe, shut up! I
And
hate the way you do
it's Ghetto Shiro. Oh
this.
man, I love
Anyway,
that guy.
but Araya's real motivations are become God, save everyone who deserved saving.
Yeah, and then put a piece of Buddha inside of him and hope for the best.
Yeah. Also, I love the connections he has to other characters. Like,
Oh yeah.
I can see Araya Souren in Kirei Kotomine, and not just because of the voice actor. They're so similar,
No,
but
he's
like
he's
different.
he's smart. He's cunning. He's like the most intelligent man in the entire novel, in the entire series. You can't not love him especially when you get to the point with him fighting Shiki in the Ogawa complex. While he's fighting him, this guy has been just completely dominating every single battle. I mean, didn't he rip off? What was it? I forgot her name already. Who's the sister of Aoko?
Oh,
Toko Ozaki. Yeah, he ripped off her head. Remember that? Yeah, that
yeah,
was
and that was
that's
her real body, which is
yeah,
better than the puppet.
that's like sheer badass. Like you can't
Hmm.
stop it. Like he's the move. He's the wall. He is a wall. He is Vasavi Shakti, like at its finest. You can
His
only kill him with like OP powers given to you
his
from the Grail.
origin. It's funny that you say he's a wall because his origin is stillness. His origin is a blockade that you can't get past.
I always loved, and he's the only one who can like actually see people's origins, right?
It's his unique magecraft.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. Okay, I get it now. Because I always thought the origin lied on his origin was stillness, but then it was also like a bit of just seeing what everyone possessed or something. That's
He like
interesting.
there are other people who can awaken origins, such as Shiroemi just has his awaken naturally. His
Yeah,
origin was sword.
his origin is the sword. He is like, I am the sword, literally the sword. Everyone in Type Moon has an origin, correct?
Not everyone,
Oh,
just
okay.
most people. Just a part of existence that gets stuck in them. Like
Okay.
um, most every single character in Kara no Kyokai has an origin.
I'm assuming the main characters from the other works have their origins, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
What is
don't know what
Shiki
Shikitono
Tono's?
did.
What is his?
We don't officially know, but it's very very likely that it is murder or killing.
Oh my god. Wow. That's pretty dark. What's it called? Oh. Didn't that just fit Shiki Nanaya instead?
Probably, but
Yeah.
Shikinamaya is a Shikitono.
It's Shiki Tono,
Um,
right, right, yeah. And
and
all this
I like
shikiness.
how we mentioned Tsukihime because that gets me into a point where Araya is a typical Type Moon villain. Every other Type Moon villain is just a different version of Araya, in my opinion. Because if we
I
look at
can
it,
yeah, I'm seeing it. I can see it with
like
Kirei.
Roa, Roa, even not sharing, like, he performs the same function. There's a mystery about him. Every single thing you faced up to now is connected to Roa in Tsukihime.
Right.
Just like how everything is connected to Araya in Karen no Kyokai. And you can even see it in Mahoyo.
I haven't started. I need to go start that. Shame on me.
Um,
I'm too busy having fun with my slice of life with Hollow Araxia, so that's always fun.
Well,
Yeah.
Araya is such a great character because he's one of Nasu's earliest, and you can see.
Wait. Which came first, Karen no Kyokai or Tsukihime?
Notes came first, and then it was Karen no Kyokai, and then it was
Okay.
Tsukihime. Karen no Kyokai is like the fate prototype of Tsukihime.
Right. Yeah. I remember something about those words going on about. I mean, yeah, he's got some great blocking moves. He can do his crazy martial. Yeah, I was like sugar, and he just like blows him away, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this man is a god. He take down Shiki, which is definitely something. But you know, he couldn't take her down. You know, she was kind of god.
He could not take her down when she was void, and I don't think any Type Moon character can do that. But that's an evil spider.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Araya Souren. You know, I really would wish for like Type Moon. I mean, Karen no Kyokai characters to get their own fighting game. Because I mean, we already got Melty Blood, and then you got Fate Unlimited codes. You need something for them too.
Honestly, what I prefer is an all Type Moon fighting game,
or that too.
So you can finally have the dream matchups. Like, who would win the fight, Araya Souren or Nero Chaos? Like, who'd win the fight, Gilgamesh or Aku?
Wait, how do you wait? How is that like a battle worth mentioning? Araya Souren versus what's his name? Chaos. Wouldn't Chaos just like win?
Because if Araya Souren has like a skill set, this is like a counter to Nero Chaos. Nero Chaos is 666 lives in a body. Araya Souren is 1 life in a building.
I don't think he can win against a man who has over 666 beasts. I think Chaos can do a number to him.
Have you never imagined a building fighting a zoo?
I mean, did it work well with Shiki?
Well, no, but these characters don't do well against Shiki. Instant death.
Right. That's interesting. That's an interesting fight.
I mentioned it because we were currently on the topic of Araya Souren.
That's pretty cool. I would love to see it, and honestly, with all these Type Moon things coming out, I would hope for it. But honestly, right now at the moment, I think all of our funds from Type Moon is either going to the next Heaven's Feel movie or Grand Order, and because Grand Order needs to live because it's their cash cow at the moment, and that's not dying anytime soon. With Lost in the Cosmos as well.
All right, so thank you, everyone. That has been the end of our podcast.
All right, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, my noble knight. And here we will be talking later on with more discussions and more topics to intrigue you all. This has been King Arthur. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, subscribe, like, comment below, go to my Patreon, give me
share it with all your friends, and now we're actually